foot, I think is well. So in essence, the draw. I think she feels more comfortable playing those hit shots. Um,
Yeah, I
I've
think that's fair
watched.
to say. I think that if she had a go-to, she would probably go to the takeout before the draw. But um,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I've watched a number of her games, and I'm going, why isn't she just drawing? I mean, she only has to draw, 8 foot, and she's playing hits, and
yeah,
so I mean, I think she does favor that, but I mean, she can also throw the pin like nobody's business. But
yeah, for sure.
when she's struggling, that.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Good day, everyone. We're back for the third end of our game here between Kate Cameron and Kerri Einarson. Cameron stealing one in the second end to take a 3-0 lead. Tough draw there for Kerri, I think. Terry.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want to be throwing it. It had to be, you know, the perfect line to draw the pin. I think you could have probably thrown it back four and maybe snuck two out of that, but the degree of difficulty there was extremely high. I think she was throwing it for one, and again, if she threw it heavy and they could carve it in fine, but yeah, I really think she was playing for one. And a lot of times these shots, I mean, I really admire these people that can go down and just throw them. Mike McEwen, I always thought was a guy that could do that. Kevin Cooey was a guy that could do that. For me, I know just as a curler, visual and the perception that the visual um, or the optics of the shot um, can add degree of difficulty. I mean, because I mean, literally, you want to just throw the T line, but when you get in the hack and you do see those rocks and you go, "Ooh, geez, I just got a sliver of that," and so other things kind of become obstacles to making shots. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the high level curlers are well trained in mental preparation, but I don't care, how much mental preparation you can do. If you can't see yourself like actually making the shot, there's obstacles to making it, and those obstacles are usually the visual or the optics of the situation.
Yeah, for sure. So Chris and Karwicki went after the double there, but the rocks were pretty close together, but straight lined up. So the difficult became tough, or the double became tough. Did get one roll towards the corner. She would have liked to maybe duck behind the corner, but we move on to Taylor McDonald, I think, on this one for Team Kate Cameron. Sorry, Brianna Cullen
No,
throwing
I
this
was
one.
gonna
Taylor's
say,
place third. Yeah.
yeah, Taylor would be throwing third. And I think that's her sweeping right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I wrote them down on my page opposite how I usually write them down on my page. It was a quick. I don't know.
That's right.
So Kerri Einarson's going to disregard all of that. Figures 3-0 far enough down that she's got to make a little bit of a effort at scoring a deuce here, and going to go right around the corner with Joanne Courtney's first rock here in the third.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the score is a motivating factor behind this shot for sure. I mean, I know a lot of skips that would play this regardless because they're playing for two. But I mean, now that Kerri's down 3-0, I think she's really going to focus on trying to get some rocks in play, make something happen.
Yeah, pretty nice shot there for Joanne Courtney, just about half buried. And just right on the tee line. You didn't want to slide behind the tee line, but that's a pretty good shot, making Kate think a little bit. It's always good when you make the other skip think a little bit. Looks like an in-turn hit. Not very much ice, so I think probably just a regular weight hit.
This is close to the red guard. Oh,
the dreaded little rub.
Just rubbed it, yeah.
Opened it up a little bit more, so next time it'll be a little more accessible, but Kerri's got a couple options. She's basically showing them all to us here. She could play a little drawdown, partially buried where she was a second ago. She could hit that one on the top. It's not a lot of room for this second rock in here. That's the problem. It's just, to get it in the right place where you don't set up a double is not super easy.
Yeah. I do like this shot though. I mean, but you're right. By going around here, for argument's sake, if she plays the top one, she could also get a roll in behind the red one that's on the 8-foot, and draw play, back into the center, which is probably where Kate wants to play anyway.
Yeah.
But again, this is real good.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
That's real good.
That's perfect, I think. So another player, I think that for a few years was no more of a hitter than a draw specialist, even the year she played third, Joanne Courtney, but over time, her game certainly changed around. Playing with Holman, as aggressive as Rachel is, sometimes make you have to be a little more rounded player, I guess. If that's fair, that might be a little bit of a stretch, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, and I don't know if this is kind of when she first came on the scene, but I remember her playing with Saskatchewan.
Okay. The corner's gone.
Yeah, I think she was trying to click the red one there on the top of the 12 as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Kerri's going to throw that corner back up. She's at a pretty good situation right now.
Most definitely.
With not too many more rocks to come. Really just 4 yellows, I guess, still to come. Val Sweeting, the lefty.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was Cameron's Vice's first rock that was thrown.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Look at that. Her head's right over the rock and the broom head. Like that's she's utilizing her maximum force while sweeping those.
Yeah, sweeping is definitely a combination of both two factors. But when you're not a real big person, you really gotta get over the head of that broom to get that downforce. Between that and pushing down on it, then It's got to give you the same effect as somebody that maybe weighs 220 pounds or something.
Mm-hmm.
So Taylor McDonald throwing out turn. She kind of left this one open a little bit. And she will just get one of them, but she has moved it out to be number 3. So Cameron now sitting 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's
Not an easy position for a
advantageous.
double, yeah. I think you pretty much have to go after the one in the 8-foot. And she is. So Val Sweeting will throw an intern. I think she's probably trying to roll behind the corner a little bit with this, Terry. Oh, they're going to think about it, talk about it.
Yeah. I would think so. I mean, you do want to get that under cover and force Team Cameron to play another run back.
Yeah, I would think. Val Sweeting, formerly of Alberta fame, is a skip really, and lost the final in the Scotties twice in back-to-back years, 14 and 15. So, and now has numerous victories with Team Einarson, like 4 in a row of 20, 21, 22, 23. That's a pretty good resume.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. Real tight to the guard here.
Yeah.
He might check the guard, unfortunately, and knock another red one in. That's not really a factor right now, but
now you're sitting 1, 2, 4, and where do you like putting this one, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think it's a good call that she's making here, but I think if I'm going to do that, I think I'm going to just maybe go right around it. Again, another end that Cameron's in pretty good shape, though.
Yeah. You don't mind having these tough decisions when you're up 3-0.
Yeah. Hard part here, I guess, is trying to make sure you don't put it somewhere where Kerri can make we'll say an easy double and sit number 2, number 3, because then you're just a half shot away from giving up 2 or 3. And that's the trick here. So I think she's decided on the come around versus the tap. I'm not positive of that, but I think that's what she's decided on. But I'm not really sure. Could be a little tap and roll, kind of, and try to do both things, although I don't really know. She take away a little bit of the intern draw away and then guard this rock at the same time. But even if you do that, you're going to leave a hole. So I don't know. I'm just going to go around. It's just too complicated in my head for figuring out the rest of it. The double's not very easy for Einarson right now. It's it looks like it probably jams on the outside one, even if you make it, and it's not an easy one to make. Kate Cameron's first rock here in the third end, sorry. Sweepers are calling to Mackenzie Elias.
Yeah, if this thing's short, I mean, she'll just go around everything. Or play the hit and roll. This is pretty good.
Yeah. I think that's terrific. I mean, it is behind the tee line, which is unfortunate, but, it was going to be hard to make it too much better than that. You force Einarson to draw, but if she does, and you follow her down, sit right there and probably force her to take her one and be happy. Which really, that's all you're looking to do here anyway. You're not really looking to necessarily score a point unless you get it handed to you a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, gotta think that, Kerri obviously wants to make every shot, but when you're down 3-0, looking at 3, and you pretty much have to, kind of get on the scoreboard here. This is a really big shot.
I think you're right. I think this is a huge shot. I think this is one that can dictate where this game goes, really. So
this is where you hear, "You got this, skipper."
Yeah. Courtney and Karwaki on the brooms. They look pretty comfortable with where they are right now, so it must be pretty good. Got to get by that top one. Looks perfect. So that tells us what Kerri would like to talk to us about, saying she's a hit first person. That's pretty good.
That's right. That's a really good shot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's above the tee line. Um, if Kate gets to the nose of that, I mean, she's not going to get shot. This is now just because she made such a great shot. I think it's probably now, how do I take away the score of two?
Yeah, absolutely. She can't really do anything with it. That's absolutely perfect shot. There's no question. I mean, I would have been pretty happy if I slid right to the back one on that, even though I ran the risk of her coming down on top of it. But it's like you say, Kate can't really do anything with that other than maybe play some kind of a guard type shot that makes it difficult for her to tap and get two. It's pretty dangerous for Kerri to decide to play a shot off her red in the 8-foot. Probably too dangerous, to be honest. So we'll see what happens. But at this point, I think she's just looking to kind of guard against that little tap shot. Great job by the sweepers there as well. Karwecki and Courtney both just nailed the weight judgment on that, and good calling all the way around. Just a real good team shot there. Cameron's last rock here in the third end.
Ideally, I think Kate would like this to, get to the rings. Take away that in off.
It's going right to the
This is pretty good. I mean, now I guess she could make the double because the reds will go onto the yellow and probably still scored out, and the yellow will go back on the red, and she still might be able to score too.
Yeah, I think if you're brave enough to play it, then I think it definitely is a possibility. It's one of those shots that looks like there could be trouble with it, and there could be if you do that. If you hit a little bit thin and it just slides by the red and picks your own, maybe that's a danger. But overall, I'm with you. I don't think there's a lot of risk in this shot because I think you're going to go red, and all you're going to do with your yellow one on the button is just bump it back on top of the other red. I think there's a chance of being clearer than we thought. Yeah.
I think the real question really would be, is there enough room for that yellow that's on the top of the 4-foot above the tee line there? Is there enough room for that to squirt out?
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you'd miss the red on the top of the button, then I think there is definitely room for that to happen. But it'd be horrible luck. But she's looking like maybe going to not do that and play draw through between, which probably is a safer plan, but not very easy. Same shot she just threw though, so just need her more ice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not convinced that there's a lot of risk playing that double.
Yeah.
It would just be a question: would the rock that you're going to hit second, could you push that out the side enough to score?
That's true. Yeah.
They obviously think that this is a better percentage shot.
Yeah. It's Kerri Einarson going to try to draw the edge of the button, much as she had to do in the previous shot, just with a little bit more room. Courtney and Karwecki. Courtney on the inside this time.
This must be really close.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's really, don't let it hit that
they're
too much along.
They just touched the...
Wow. Well, great effort by Kerri Einarson.
It was really good effort.
I think it was, they couldn't really take it much harder because it was going to be that slight little bit heavy. But anyway, Einarson gets on the board with one after a great shot in the third end here. And we trail 3-1. Einarson trails 3-1. after 3 ends here at the Saville Grand Prix.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
So we're back for the 4th end action. It's Saville Grand Prix. We are Curling Stadium Edmonton this week. And you can certainly go and check out all of the scores for this event and others on the curlingzone.com. You can probably tap into every game being played out here. You pick the game of your choice that you'd like to see, and they are accessible on the Curling Zone site. So Einarson finally on the board. Would have preferred 2, Terry, but
tough shot, and I mean you're not going to come any closer to scoring 2 than I think she did. I mean, hell of a throw. Again, just watching the sweepers try and ensure that they were given enough information to Val in the house that the weight was close, and so it was all a line shot, and she just rubbed the one at the top there and skidded off. So we have a 3-1 game, and Kate now gets the hammer. So let's see what she can do with it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a precarious situation for the Einarson team too. They really, you always like to be in a position that you can afford to force to 1, and they're there, but barely. They can't afford to give up a deuce here. It just gets to be too difficult with you'd only have 4 ends to go and down 4. So obviously Einarson would like a steal, but at no worse she forces Cameron to take 1. And they can do that. They just haven't quite put it together here yet. They haven't had a lot of pressure on the Cameron team. We've seen a couple of ends, and really it's been, if not all Cameron, it's been dominated at least by Cameron the last couple of ends.
Certainly, their rocks have been in better positions than Team Einarson's rocks, and hence the score as well. It was, I believe it was last weekend. We did a game, and the hammer efficiency of both teams was really good. Like they just when they had the hammer, they were scoring 2 or 3, and we only had 1 steal, but
yeah.
But yeah, the hammer efficiency was really good.
Yeah. Bit of a mistake there for Team Cameron, coming way back behind the tee line and allowing Einarson the chance to come around multiple guards here.
Mm-hmm.
Good opportunity for Kerri to get 1 in. Joanne Courtney's first stone. And then number 4. About number 7 stone for the year, probably for Joanne.
Yeah, don't ever kid yourself. That gal's probably thrown 1,000 rocks in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. So pretty good shot there. They were not really looking to go back that far, but once it got there, they had to keep sweeping it to make sure it just didn't overcurl and maybe slide by everything, obviously.
Yeah.
Finally, in rock number 6, so they're able to peel the front. So Cameron will look to remove at least the high one.
Yeah, she'd definitely like to open up and rearrange some of the rocks here, and this is going to be a nose hit. So she really didn't improve
Didn't
the
change much with
situation.
that, no. So I thought Kerri might actually try to come right in around on this. It kind of looked like she was just going to go corner that one at the top of the 8 foot. Nothing really wrong with that either, but I just thought she might be try to duck right around, get a little better rock in there.
This is pretty much what they called.
Yeah. Okay, good shot by Courtney. That's where the skipper wanted it.
So now it's just interesting. I mean, unfortunately, we can't hear them. Whether she's going to try and run that rock into the yellow or it's a straight peel.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So we're going to say it was a straight peel. Great shot.
All right. I think that's probably what it was, to be honest.
I kind of think that that was probably the call too. You run it into the yellow. I mean, you could, although it wouldn't be the end of the world, but you could probably run it in the yellow into the red as well. So it was let Team Anderson, continue to throw rocks short, and at some point, I mean, I would imagine Cameron would make a move.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, I'm always cautious about making a move, and especially if I've got some rocks to play with, making a move. For the sake of making a move, but also, I mean, I think it gives your opposition the opportunity just to make one shot to force you into one.
Yeah.
They're going to have a little chit chat here.
So what do you think this discussion's going?
I think it's about how they want to, excuse me, how they want to, play this guard.
Yeah.
Running or running it into it.
Whoops.
I mean, you could. I mean, if you were going to make a move, you could make it now and try and tap the red one. But certainly my preference, and it looks like that's what she's going to do, is I'd try and run the double now. I think it's late enough in the end. You lose the top red one, so be it. I think this is one of those shots that allow you to get rid of 3 rocks and your shooter. Kind of on it out of her hand. Again, not much changes. The scenery basically remains the same. And now Kerri's looking at going right in, which I think is a really good call. Val Sweeting's last rock of the end for her. Sweepers are indicating that they've got enough weight to get it everywhere they want to go. Just a little heavy again. And in doing so, maybe sets up a double for Cameron to sit 3. Her other option is to just come down and get in between the two of them. I mean, I would think that Kate's just going to try and make sure she scores. I'm a little surprised that she doesn't take a run at it in the sense that she could sit 3. But I mean, again, Kerri would really probably only have to make one shot because they'd all be behind the tee line to take the end away from her as well.
Finally made it back, Terry. Sorry about that. I lost my.
No problem. We missed you, but we carried on.
Yeah. We weren't going to pay any ransoms or anything like that. So
no.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I was actually just trying to figure out the feed so I could answer somebody on the chat, but I couldn't get in. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, what did I do here? So my computer incompetence kind of showed up for a minute. So anyway, I heard what you were just saying. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised as well. I figure you would end up with the same result probably. And
yeah,
two less yellow ones in there. So I'm a bit surprised that you wouldn't have taken a run at that too. But everything at the back, not really any real trouble for Cameron yet.
Nope.
As far as that goes, because as Kerri can put this around and put it above the tee line, then she's still not in a position to put a lot of heat on Kate Cameron. We were saying earlier, 10 sheets here at Saville. It's very, very exciting rink to play in, I think. So Here comes Kerri Einarson, her first rock here in the 4th end.
This thing is really curling. And I mean, not to belabor a point, but again, that's just one of those things that, I've seen over the years with Kerri. Like, I mean, she's playing that right into the house and down to the, well, I don't want to say she's playing it down to the back one. I mean, she was definitely trying to get shot. I mean, but that really wasn't close when you consider the level that she's playing at and does play at.
Yeah, I agree that she would have, the pro side misses they talk about all the time on that particular shot probably was to be a little bit on the heavy side, or at least not quite that light. But we'll see where Kate goes. Kate could make this really tough on her if she puts this rock around the guard, top of the 4-foot somewhere. I'm not sure what Einarson's going to have, but she might be able to draw something up with a couple of rocks in front. So Kate Cameron's same thing. First rock here in the 4th end.
They're going to have to really go to get this bide. This is on the guard too.
I don't know if it's a little heavy out there or not, but it doesn't seem like it should be. But she was probably she might have had pretty close to the right weight, really. If she had got by, she would have been in the neighborhood anyways.
I'm surprised Kerri didn't put her running shoes on and run down to the other end to throw this, given that the outcome, because I'm sure she was not looking at this shot when after she had finished throwing her last one. I'm sure she expected to have a much more difficult shot.
Yeah, so big break for Einarson here, real big break for Einarson. And
Oh,
you make this one
huge,
now,
yeah.
you almost have a force in the bag, and now you can certainly maybe even steal a point here if you can make a good shot and keep this above the tee line.
Yeah, I mean,
And you just had a practice shot. That never hurts. Courtney and Karwacki on the brushes.
this has got looks like it's got better line too.
Yeah. Got to go pretty hard, though, I think.
Geez, look at it curling. Yeah, but this looks
She's
pretty
going to be
good.
okay for line.
Yeah,
You want to bury that if they can.
yeah, and they did.
Yeah, that's a very nice shot. Again, nice sweeping job by the front end, and pretty tough shot coming for Cameron. She's looking at whether or not she's got enough room to go by and chap that out. And she might have. It's ice has lots of curl in it. It doesn't have a real radical finish, I don't think we'd say be fair to say, but probably enough curl here to make this, but you're going to have to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, does it curl enough if you throw, kind of back 8 weight,
Yeah.
to move it 2 feet? They obviously think it does.
And
they're going to give this a go.
Yeah, they're not taking a lot of ice here, so yeah, I'm thinking it's she's probably looking maybe even a little bit more than that.
Oh, she would have to be looking at more weight
Yeah.
than that. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah, she'd be looking at probably board weight with that ice, and tough shot that way. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how she gets along. This one's out there quite a ways. We don't.
Yeah, they're going to have to carve this.
Here it comes. She get over there. She will. Pretty good shot by Kate Cameron. I think she'd be quite content with that. She obviously wasn't playing a weight that would have made it easier for her to get to. She wanted to make sure she got rid of that stone. She did that. Picks up one, and we have a 4-1 Cameron lead after 4 ends of play here at the Saville Grand Prix.
Here's what I found.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
Hey all, we are back once again. Jim Nix and Terry Corbin here in Curling Stadium, Edmonton at the Saville Curling Center for a game between Einarson and Cameron. Second round action in the Spiel, just getting going. Really triple knockout format, if I remember right, and we'll double check that. But this game has gone kind of all Cameron so far. with the exception of, well, that end had a chance for a little bit of a chance there for Einarson to do some damage. Terry?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think, there's a couple things in play here on Kate Cameron's last shot. I think she probably knew she couldn't hit that and stay for two. Um, but when she looked at the options of potentially playing that out turn draw to the button, that didn't make sense to her. So even then, she was looking at scoring, and she decided that if she was going to score that, playing that shot was the her best chance at scoring one. So I think that's why she played it. And just on another note, the gals are playing a round robin, Jim.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, they're doing pools.
Okay. Appreciate that update on that. I hadn't had a chance to even look at that yet. So Einarson will go really hard to get two here. She's playing the fifth end. Definitely would like to score more than one.
Yeah, they have four pools. Two of the pools have 5 teams, and two of the pools have 6 teams. So they have 22 women's teams here at this event.
Yeah, that's a big field, 22
Yeah.
teams. Especially, I think the men, if I recall, only had 16 maybe.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely correct. The men had 16. Yeah.
Yeah, and that it's not too often you'll see spiels like this where the men have less teams than the women. They usually both have the same, but pretty good shot here.
Yes.
Einarson will take a little while to develop this end. It's hard. Sometimes you want to be shot rock early, and most of the time, if you're trying to score multiple points, that's not normally going to be the best plan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Kate's playing where she wants to play in the middle of the ice, not
Yeah.
having last rock, and Anderson doesn't seem to mind playing in the center. So, away we go. It's going to be who can make the best shot later on in the end, I think, and or sometimes. In this case, it would be Kerri's choice. Like when do you want to blow this up?
Yeah. Pretty quickly, apparently. I think. Well, maybe. Just going to hit the back one first. And that's really just to prevent spinning it into the house, I think.
Yeah.
Looks different. People out there that might look at that and say, well, she can't make the double that way. Well, the double's probably not there either way exactly, but this way at least she doesn't hit the high one, then knock the second one into the rings and have to deal with something else. So Joanne Courtney throws. Yeah, pretty good shot. Still a lot of stuff out there for Einarson to have to maneuver around, but but you got to figure out what the other team's going to do too. And occasionally with a 4-1 lead, other team's not any happier than you to have all these rocks out front, so they might help you out a little bit. Just a quick answer to a question we had on the chat a little while ago, and I wasn't able to actually answer on there. But no, obviously by now you figured it out. We don't actually have sound coming from the ice, so sometimes we have to be a little bit of mind readers as to what they're going to do, and we'll do our best to guess right most of the time, Terry.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Guess.
Well, we get it right most of the time, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing about curling. Whether you're, watching a game behind the glass or watching it like this in this format, the curlers use their hands for so many things in their communication that quite often you can make a really good educated guess at what they're trying to play. And
yeah, certainly very helpful.
Yeah. I mean, I think the hardest thing for me is just getting a read on the weight selection, because it sometimes you look at it and you go, I don't know what they're playing here, whether they're playing a board weight hit. But
Yeah.
again, once you've seen the ice for a little bit, you can again make an educated guess based on that ice. They're throwing this kind of weight.
Yeah. Camera removes that corner guard, which I don't know how much damage that was going to be, but now Kerri's going to have Joanne throw a little tap the yellow one into the rings behind some cover, slide off a little bit to the left as we look at it coming down the sheet, and open up the back rock a bit would be the plan here.
Yep.
And looks like it's very well done. She's actually going to make the split.
Yep.
Wow.
That's a great shot.
That is a really good shot. That wasn't an easy split. If you wanted to make that for 2 at the end of the game or something, that wouldn't be a super easy split. So well done. Kate Cameron now looking to figure out how I can get rid of some rocks. She's looked at a couple options. First, she looked at, I think, the run back on the yellow closest to the broom, or the red closest to the broom onto the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably still what they're playing. She did indicate she could possibly end up hitting it off the other red, which wouldn't be the end of the world for her either. But
I wonder too if the kind of, I'll call it the slash red onto yellow that she initially called, whether she can roll this shooter all the way across and maybe even take out the yellow one on the side. But she's got enough. That was bad.
a mini disaster, basically. Yeah.
Oh, that was disastrous.
Yeah, that was a really unfortunate shot. I don't know what they did on that shot, but it certainly wasn't very close to hitting the rock that she had in mind. So must have been, I assumed, a little bit tight. She threw an intern, so it must have been a little bit on the inside and over curled and left Einarson with just a great situation. A couple of corners, they're not yours, but they're over there, and you get a chance to go around, and shot rock remains basically wide open. So great position for Einarson to maybe get back in this one, as she's drawing to sit 4.
Yeah. I know Val's kind of motioning that this has got lots of weight, gang. This has got lots of weight.
It appears she's going to be.
And this is, I mean, it ends up, above the tee line, which is really good. I don't think Kate can get an inside roll. So I think, all in all, that's not bad. I mean, if it goes a little further, Kate's probably playing one of 2 doubles on the yellows. So
You think the 2 yellows that are closest to the center you think that double's not there? Is it too flat?
I think it's too flat. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be a good one to make if you could make it.
Interesting here. I mean, this has got a curl, but she has Taylor throwing the same shot. Oh, the shooter didn't quite catch it. I thought it might have, but that was really close to being a heck of a shot.
Yeah. What it does do for her, though, first of all, it eliminated one of the yellows.
Mm-hmm.
She's sitting 3rd shot, but that's not a problem for Einarson to remove it. The problem is going to be that she's going to leave 3 rocks, all very, very close together. And Kate Cameron, for a skip, is one of the skips that can throw on the ladies' side for sure. That can throw solid weight. I mean, most of them can. Most everybody can now, but she enjoys throwing it and throws it pretty well. So good chance for her maybe to get a little bit out of this end. In the meantime, Einarson has to remove this and not lose anything in behind it. So Val Sweeting has to throw a good one here and just get as much of it as she can. Roll out to the wing and see what happens. This Karwacki pointing at something, but I just don't quite sure know what it is. Courtney now trying to hold this. Should be good. Yeah, that's as good as you can make it, Terry. It didn't, it was going to end up with something like that no matter what. So
that's right.
Yeah. So 2 is pretty easy. 3 might not be super easy. So I don't know if you can get 3 there or not. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, with the perfect shot, they could all go. You just have to hit um, the the top yellow there that the broom's beside that she's just tapping. You have to
I
come
think
so close to the nose.
I think you can make this double, the one that she's holding the broom beside and the one in the 8 foot. I think you can make that double though and have your shooter roll just a little bit left and be in a position where you were number two and maybe not removable at least.
Hmm, hmm.
You have to throw it hard because you're going to have to hit it close to the nose. It's Kate Cameron facing 4 with her first rock here in the 5th end. An enviable spot, but be thankful you're up 4 right now, or up 3 right now. Well, she got 2. I'm not exactly sure if that's the 2 that she was expecting to get or not, but
Yeah, I
she
don't
did
know
2.
either.
But she's left Einarson sitting 2 with a chance to draw to sit 3.
Hmm.
So I was discussing which way to go. Instinctively, I would think you were going to go, as we look at the overhead, you go to the right-hand side and just try to bite the 8 foot and even up all those rocks. But that's maybe not quite as easy as it sounds sometimes.
Exactly.
I don't know that I want to throw anything over towards the red, though. I know there's a chance of setting something up over there, but I don't know if I want to go over there. I think I might end up set up too easy of a double. So this is a shot I think is good. Terry, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you're trying to get another rock in play to count, and um, I'd almost, I mean, I guess the good news is that those 2 yellow ones are even, and if she can get one pretty much even on the 12 foot and have be third shot, that would be ideal. Um, I mean, I don't know that there's like a better place for
Yeah.
this rock. Um, the only problem here is, I mean, you are definitely, playing to less of a target. It has to be precise. So
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's the one trouble is you do want to be third shot here for sure, because if you slide out a little bit too much in the 8 foot, even if you are dead even,
yeah,
now you're going to be in a position where 2 is going to be the best you can do if Kate makes her last hit. The problem was this, is spreading it out enough.
yeah, not bad.
No, I would agree. She can make this. She'll probably try to go for the double here, I think, and try to hit like a quarter of a rock, make the double.
Hmm.
But it does come with a little bit of risk. You hit an inch too much of it or half an inch too much, and you just go over the top and give Kerri a draw for 3.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the only way that could have been maybe a little bit better is if they take it another half a foot to a foot. Probably a full foot.
Yeah. Once you know it wasn't going to be even with the other ones, then you could go back there another foot easy and maybe made this even that much tougher. So Kate Cameron, in-turn hit. We think pretty sure she's playing the double here.
I think she's playing double all day.
Yeah. Must be close.
It's through the hole.
Not close at all. Right through the hole. Holy cow. Big miss for Kate Cameron. A big break for Einarson. It was an odd one in the sense that we were like you guys, we were watching them sweep, and there didn't seem to be any major panic anywhere. So I thought she was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a big break.
Sure is. I mean, you've gone from down 4-1 if you're Einarson to potentially well, you are drawing for the lead. And if you're Kate Cameron, you've just watched a 4-1 lead just evaporate so quickly.
Yeah, it's tough to take. You're playing one of the best teams in the world, and you've kind of dominated the game to this point, and really are giving up a pretty easy 4 here by the look of it.
Well, and that's it. And I guess that was the part I was going to make comment on it. It's not like, um, you know, Cameron hasn't been deserving of, the 4-1 lead. They've had controlled ends and everything, and boom, and here we have a 4-ender on the board, and now Cameron trails 5-4.
Yeah, so out of nowhere, really, Anderson takes a score of 4 here in the 5th end and a 5-4 lead as we go to the break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
So we're back and had a complete turnaround in that last end in a game that Kate Cameron really had controlled. Kerri Einarson comes up with a 4 spot in the 5th end and takes a 5-4 lead going to the 6th end. That kind of came out of nowhere, Terry.
Sure did. I mean, we commented at the time that split that Team Anderson made, that was a really good shot. And then, we had the miss by Taylor on her first one, and the miss by Kate Cameron on her last one, and wow, we have a 4.
Yeah, you're right. And I thinking of that, I just had forgotten that in the sense that shot by Joanne Courtney, I believe, that wasn't really, you weren't really thinking of it being a major move in the end that early and just getting a couple rocks onto the 12-footer in close to the 12-foot, but it turned into a big shot. So you never know.
Yeah, for sure. And now, I mean, not only if you're Team Cameron, are you battling kind of Team Anderson, but you're also potentially battling your own thoughts there, like we had talked about in the break. I mean, Team Cameron had outplayed Team Anderson in the first, through the first 4 ends.
Yeah.
For the one end, it doesn't make a game, but it certainly has made this game a whole lot different.
Yeah, sure has. You went from a position of strength, obviously, with a 4-1 lead and a chance to kind of take total control of the game, and instead now you're battling back when you really didn't expect that. But again, certainly experience will help in this situation. I'm sure that Kate and her team have been through situations like that in the past, and you just got to go. You're down 1 playing 6, so you're not necessarily in great control of the game, but you're not in a bad spot. You score here, and you're, even if you're only tied up after 6, you have hammer and the even ends, and it's not bad. So you just got to get with it and get at it. And you got to put on a little offense here, which they haven't really had to do so much. So Anderson's team was giving them enough that they didn't have to make a lot of great shots. Now you got to make some good shots, and they started off pretty good here. There's two pretty good ones.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess if you're gonna give up a four-ender, I guess there's no good time. But if you're giving up four when you're up three, I mean, that's better than giving up four when you're tied. Trying to find the positives for Team Cameron here. This looks like a really good shot.
Yeah, it's a dandy shot.
Very nice, yeah. Pushed it behind the tee line. It can potentially become a catcher for that yellow. Really interesting call.
Yeah. Case just trying to get a little creative on how to go about this end.
I think, I mean, for me, I know they always gather as a team prior to throwing the first rock of the next end. But I mean, if I'm Team Cameron, I'm just going, you know what? Like, let's hold on here. We're playing the sixth end. This is a big end. I mean, you're not going to change what's already happened. We're moving on, but I mean, this is an even end, sixth end, the sixth end of an 8-end game. It's huge here that you score. One gets you tied, two puts you one up. So like, I mean, I'm sure you started the game feeling you had to play all 8 ends. So if I'm Team Cameron, that's kind of the little talk I have as our group, and just say, like, scoring is essential here, boys, girls.
Yeah.
Let's get at her.
Yeah.
Let's go play this end.
Yeah, and certainly the Cameron team starting off pretty good here. They've thrown 3 pretty nice draws right out of the gate.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's that's a good sign. Like you say, sometimes mentally it's just hard to kind of get your head in the game. But if you're going to be any good at this game, you have to learn. It's like most sports, you have to have pretty short memories and be able to park things when you need to park them. So,
well, and like, I just know as a skip, when you miss that, kind of hit, like, you feel like you let your team down. I certainly felt like that Wednesday night, and you just wonder, like, how can you make, some shots and then miss the easy ones? It just plays with your mind, because you are trying to park it, but you realize that not only was it an easy shot, the difficulty was minimal, and and then you turn around and make this triple hit and roll, and all around the horn, and blah blah blah, and sometimes it just doesn't make sense.
no, I know it can be a tough game that way for sure. Pretty interesting call here. I'm kind of liking this call, actually, because I think it's the only way that she can maneuver her rock into a real good position here. So playing an out-turn tap, yellow on red, and then on the yellow, or at least close to the yellow, would be fine. Going hard to hold it straight. She get it by?
No.
Oh, just another. She had one of those earlier in the game. That's so close to being perfect. And you can see with the way those are lined up, that would have been perfect. You hit that yellow one a little tiny bit high side, and it drags the red over a little bit, and you're probably sitting two buried by the time it's done. But that's the ifs of this game. So you could win a lot of games if you could go back and change those little if moments. I know that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I mean, just reading some body language, and just watching that stone of Kate's get kicked to the backboards there. Don't want to overread it, but looks like a little bit of frustration setting in.
Yeah, so Joanne Courtney sweeping that a little bit, just trying to guard up this raise that Cameron just played. You can see how you can get there probably on the interim, but it's not nearly as a good a result, I don't think. Although Cameron
No.
might, she's looking to kind of hammer in the front one and going straight back. Might not be a bad shot, Terry.
You're right. I mean, the likelihood of you losing that back one on the 4 foot, I mean, that may not be a bad thing.
Yeah.
um,
So Taylor McDonald. And an out turn run back. Just to curl a hair. Interesting. They were trying to hold that straight. I thought they actually needed to curl a little bit to make the shot that they were trying to make, but it's something it's hard sometimes to decide when you say, well, we're not going to get there, so let's try to at least get rid of the guard and lose the shooter. Unfortunately, they didn't lose the shooter, but so Einarson now has Kate Cameron a bit on the ropes here.
yeah, I mean, again, just scoreboard looking. I mean, for Team Anderson to score one, would put them up two with 2 ends to play. I like the odds of winning those games. Tied, if your team Cameron tied after 6 with 2 ends to play, I like my chances at that winning those games too.
Yeah. Yeah, she has to find a way to score here for sure, though. That's imperative. Val Sweeting now. Is probably just trying to guard up this side.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get really tough for Kate Cameron to score here in a minute, I think. So it might be overcurling a little, though. And try another one of these.
Yeah, I honestly don't like. Personally,
it's a long run back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a personal thing. I mean, that's a long run back.
Yeah. Problem with this one, if you don't make it, you're not going to be leaving much better. So let's see. Taylor McDonald was close on her first one. This could be really close. Well, that's a great shot. And I'm not sure who has shot. It's really close. It might just be the red one at the back of the 4 foot. But either way, that was a great shot by Taylor McDonald. Yep. Certainly improved the situation immensely, at least temporarily.
Yeah, I think that's much better than it was.
Yeah. That was a long run back. That was a good throw and a good call. I think the fact that they had just thrown it made it that much more realistic to play. I think it's, they just played it and they knew exactly what it was going to do. And Taylor obviously is not somebody that throws it a million miles an hour. She threw that solid, but it wasn't like maybe she can throw it that hard. I don't know, but that wasn't what they were playing. They were playing something with maybe a little bit above normal weight, but that was small. So good shot. Kerri Einarson now throwing her first one after they get rid of debris. Kerri going right in on this shot.
This looks pretty good.
It does. Got to get by that guard, though. No.
Oh, wow.
Actually, probably a little misjudged. Surprising. The judges have been bang on for the Einarson team today. I think they kind of misjudged that one a little bit. It was definitely light. So they would have needed to go a little bit sooner, a little bit harder. See Courtney talking about with Kerri there now.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, too, as we mentioned, as good of a sweeper Joanne Courtney is and was and still will be, is, it's a new team for her. It's not another sweeper that she's worked with all year or in any level. So that takes a little doing. Sometimes you're not quite as sharp as you'd like to be.
Well, and I mean, still, and judging. I mean, it's not like she's even if she's thrown 100 rocks. I mean, um, she probably hasn't seen 100 rocks. Come out. She hasn't gone down the ice with 100 rocks and been able
Exactly.
to,
Yeah.
judge the sweeping. I mean, that's. I mean, to me, you're good at it or you're not good at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does. It takes you a couple games to, feel confident in, I need to go, and those sweepers are invaluable.
Yeah.
Those people that can judge a stone.
So Kate Cameron now playing what I think is the off her own.
Yeah, that's what she called.
Yeah. Didn't have the greatest start at the delivery there. Was a little out of whack, I thought, but
Yeah,
going hard here. They need to hold this and not take out their own, and they will do that.
yeah, that's a tough one.
Team Cameron, their own worst enemy a little bit here the last couple of inches.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just don't think she didn't have a great start on that slide and had to kind of figure it out on the way out, which for us guys that are old and doing that,
We do that all the time,
yeah, we're doing
Jimmy.
that all the time. It doesn't seem like such a big deal, but when you're used to not having that happen, and it happens, it's like when we throw one perfect, Terry. It's like, wow, what was that? I didn't even know where that was. Well, same thing for somebody that slides perfect all the time and just all of a sudden has a bad one. It gets tough to mentally figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else she plays, other than that shot. I mean, you,
No, I
you
don't think there's
really
any.
couldn't play the intern draw. There's nothing really on the outturn side for you
No,
to uh, play and help yourself. So honestly, I don't know.
no, I can't be critical of the shot selection either. I mean, it looked a little odd when I first saw it, and I thought, well, you know what? She's got to get another rocket, and I don't see any real easy way to get another one in there. That seemed like the easiest way to do it. We might have been able to draw around there. I don't know, but it looks like it would have to go a long ways past that top rock. And really bad, really unlucky, really, to be honest. It's
Yeah,
hard to hit that rock where you did and have it impact both that one and you missed a shot and then you actually move your own rock. That was pretty unfortunate. So, but either way, I'll tell you what, she's going to have a hard time scoring now. So,
she
Kerri
really is.
yes,
Yeah,
would
she
probably
really
be coming
is.
right in. Yeah. You
And I
taking this
mean,
one all the way in, Terry? That's what the call is?
I didn't
Yeah,
I
I think
didn't
so.
see.
Yeah.
I know she did tap, right around, but
Yeah. I don't see any point in not taking it in. So if you're going to sit one, you might as well sit two. I don't think you're going to take any shot away with this other than you want to take the draw on the intern side away.
mhm. Yeah, the only other, I mean, going back to Kate's last shot, I mean, I thought maybe they might have played it a little quieter, but I mean,
Yeah.
again, do you know the ice? Who knows?
Yeah.
I do know that Kate's in trouble.
Yeah. I'm wondering whether or not, if I just not sure if there's enough curl there to get to the full 4 foot on the intern side. Kate's looking at playing a run back double,
Wow.
I guess. Tough shot.
Like
So
I almost wondered if you could play the outturn draw, um, and I mean, obviously you would have to get uh, by the top yellow one, and I'm now, I guess, guessing because I can't see the house, but um, I wondered if you could, with back 8 foot weight, could you
Mhm.
get to the nose of that stone?
Well,
This
let's
is
see where
maybe
this one hits. Going to hit
not
too
close.
thin for sure. And we're going to have another steal. Well, not another steal. First steal, really, for Kerri Einarson here. She will steal one in the sixth and go up by 2, 6-4 after 6 here at the Saville Grand Prix. We will be back after the break. Oh, I shoot, Jerry.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
We want to welcome you back to end number 7. Team Einarson is leading Team Cameron 6-4. Cameron has the hammer, and we've started the end, and Cameron really needs to score multiple points here. One's not going to cut it. They've thrown up the corner guard, the high corner guard. You'll probably see them go and put the double corner guard up, is my guess, based on the position of that rock, unless it was just lightly or thrown lightly and they wanted it a little deeper. It's been a kind of a tale of 2 4-end games. The first 4 ends, Team Cameron really looked like they had everything in control and working towards a W, and boom, in end number 5, Kerri Einarson's team comes on and scores a big 4, and then steals one in 6, and really is now taking control over this game. And she's got 2 rocks in play in the house, and Cameron's got a corner guard, and I do believe she is playing the double corner.
Yeah, double corner is an interesting change in the game in the last year and a half or so. I don't know if I saw the double corner ever until really the last year and a half, whatever it's been. Not long, anyways.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I had a chance to throw it last Wednesday in our club game, and I thought about it, and I haven't convinced myself that it's a totally a good play yet, but and then after we didn't throw it, we threw the second corner guard. I thought, geez, like, that corner guard's a little bit further over and a little higher than I wanted. So maybe I should have thrown that corner guard. So I've resolved in my own mind that it's a good play or a better play if you don't feel the corner guard is useful.
It's good enough. Yeah. Good way to put it.
And that's where I'm leaving it, because I still don't know.
Yeah, well, we can go along with you on that. I don't think that's the way that most people decide it, but that's a good way to decide it anyway for the day. So Kate Cameron figures, okay, well, there's enough of yellow ones in here now. We got to move a couple of them around, and she'll go in and hit something here and try to move a couple, maybe get a couple of yellows behind the tee line if they don't go out, and make a little roll behind the corner, which looks like it's going to happen. Oh, she's going to roll a little too far.
Stay in the rings. Yeah. So, I mean, I was just going to say to you, do you not like going just right around the corner guard? Because, I mean, Kerri, just my opinion. I mean, I thought Kerri's probably going to run the corner guards anyway, and they were all sitting there in a nice little group. That, I mean, if you have to bail, you bail. But I thought it might be a little early to bail, and you
Yeah.
know, you set the two corner guards up there for a reason. Why not use them?
No, good point. I don't think there's any question Kerri's hitting the guard or going to try to hit at least one of those guards, no matter what you do. So I would agree 100% that yeah, just a little bit too worried about the ones in the center, probably a shot or two too early. You go ahead and go around there, let her go ahead and peel a corner, and then decide what you want to do from there. You got a couple shots to decide before all of a sudden, the fear I guess would be that all of a sudden Einarson decides to guard it up or something. What do you do? But she's not going to do that. You got to sort of assume and make some real educated decisions there that's not going to happen. If she does, we'll deal with that later. So
Yeah, I mean, I just, I mean, and she would have played Kerri enough,
yeah,
to be fairly confident. I think that
yeah,
that's what she was going to do.
yeah. So good guard. But to your point, like if they'd come around there, that guard could still have gone back up, and in the meantime, they'd have one in the house already. So
Yeah,
now yeah, you're gonna have to do some damage later, but that's just the way it goes. You can't do all your damage early because it never gets you a big end, or usually it doesn't get you a big end. So Val Sweeting now will be asked to peel out one of these corners. Karwaki trying to make it curl a little bit, and it's not going to. Well, it did, just barely, but not enough. Better setup for Cameron here now, actually, as far as getting around the corner goes.
hmm
Leading up to the end here, you might see, depending on where this one ends up, you might see Kerri decide to draw down to it and sit a couple. It just depends, I guess. If it's really high in the rings, they won't do that. But if it ever slides back a little bit, wouldn't be
hmm
shocked to see her go to a draw.
Well, and I mean, I think you're probably right. I mean, I think if it's just behind, but this looks heavy. Yeah, this is through the rings. This
Yeah.
is yeah. You can't throw that one through the rings there. I mean, that's easy for me to say now, but because I've done it.
Yeah.
But you really want to give your sweepers an opportunity to make a shot versus walking down the ice and watching it slide through.
Yeah.
So um,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be heavy in that shot, but it does
I
create
think
a little bit of an interesting thought pattern in Kerri Einarson's head where she goes with this, Roth.
I think she, well, I mean, I think she has to throw it. Um, you know, a guard here. When I say a guard, um, you know, really, really tight. But because I mean, I think the only way you can help Team Cameron right now is trying to run, potentially the double on the guards, and it hits and rolls. One of those red ones rolls into the house. Like you've got pretty much control of the game. You're down to um, kind of, well, for all intents and purposes, you'll be down to skips rocks as well, and I don't mind that call.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. I think you're at a good point that somehow if you try to peel something and you just tick the red one in and roll it in, all of a sudden they're hitting for two. And yeah, that's awful lot of bad luck, but sometimes you get a lot of bad luck. So I didn't
Mhm.
mind that shot.
Yeah, and I mean, again, Kate's got to think about getting two here, and you may have to look at making your two off your own two rocks, because I mean,
Yeah,
going around that corner guard is one thing, and Kerri throws a lid on her her shot rock. I mean, now you're down to trying to score two, and you got a lot of rocks to get by in order to score your two. So I think
yeah,
this is probably um, you know
yeah,
the better opportunity.
yeah. Kate Cameron asking Taylor McDonald to come down and sit on that rock in the house. This looks like a pretty good one. Can overcurl a little tiny bit, but that's probably better. At least it's not removable for the Einarson team.
Yep.
It will be a challenge, admittedly, for Kate Cameron to also remove the yellow rock, but for now, she'll see
Yeah.
what Kerri does and decide that she always has the angle raise on the rock that's just behind Joanne Courtney's head there, I think, or body. And that's one possibility.
Mhm.
One thing Kate has to find a way to make sure she scores here. Obviously, she's stating the obvious, as they say. So it's she certainly can't afford to give up another point. Right now, she would have to draw the button to get a point, but she's
Yeah.
still optimistic about maybe finding a way to get two, and she will go for two, probably pretty all out. In other words, she won't necessarily take one if there's some kind of a shot that will get her two, even if it's much more difficult. That seems to be the trend with the top teams, and I'm not sure what the analytics say, but I'm sure that they support that decision based on trying to steal two ends in a row.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes at this level, um, the teams know the analytics, and if the analytics aren't in their favor, based on the scoreboard, they will go to the degree of difficulty over the single point.
Yeah.
I mean, Kate's already looking at kind of that angle raise. Again, I think your choices are really limited. It's peel the front two and spill them all. You might get your shooter to come off and hit that tight corner guard and bounce into the rings. That would be a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
Or you just decide, I've probably got one shot and at this, and I'm going to take it now.
Yeah. The one thing about peeling the guards, if you could peel the guards away, you're probably going to see Kerri blast the red one out
Oh,
and give
for
you,
sure,
yeah,
for sure.
give you a chance to blank the end. Which, so if you assume that, and if you assume you're going to make those shots, is that a better scenario than trying this, whatever this is, 6, 12,
Hmm.
15, 16-foot angle raise takeout? I don't know, but for me, it would be obviously a better choice. But for these guys that are playing these shots all the time, it might not be the better choice. If you ever make this perfect, you could end up with two red ones buried behind these two
Oh,
yellows. So,
if she makes this, she puts Kerri in a world of hurt
yeah,
because it will be behind the guards. I didn't realize. I mean, just from the angle that we had, um, I thought you could probably roll the shooter into the red, but I didn't realize the red one was so far from the ring. So
yeah,
she throws a cap on this, Kerri Einarson, and then I mean I don't know what Kate's got. I really don't, except
well,
for draw the button.
yeah. I think it's I think Kerri's looking at all the options that she
Yeah,
has right now and recognizing that double is very, very flat, but probably makeable if you can throw it hard
it
enough.
is makeable. Yes, yeah,
And then you could come off your own red out there as well if you're still trying to dream about getting two. But again, almost impossible shot, I think. So she's probably going to go. I didn't catch where she finally finished up,
neither
but I
did
think she's
I.
going back four or something like that. I don't think she's
And
going.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
that would be. I mean, even T line would probably
yeah,
suffice.
yeah. And if you're ever short, you're probably guarding it. So
Yeah, yeah, and you force Cameron into making or playing that double.
yeah,
Yeah, they're just reaffirming where they want it because I'm sure that the front ends also had a little quick chat about where they'd like it, and so my guess is that Kerri wanted to go back four, the front end wanted to go front four or front or top 12. Sorry.
Yeah, and whichever decision is crucial here, that everybody knows and knows where you can't end up as
Yep.
well, so that so there's no discrepancy on the part of front end, back end, or whatever, because the girls sweeping it are going to have to know perfectly where Kerri Einarson wants it to end up.
Yep.
Quick reminder, everyone, that you can find all the scores from this Saville Grand Prix on the Curling Zone site. You can check out all of the feeds as well at Curling Stadium, Edmonton. Kerri Einarson throwing a draw of sorts, at least. Looking more like the guard than the draw, I think, but not positive. You set this on the wrong corner, this red one wouldn't be good enough. Well, I think you now know where you don't want it to be. Unfortunately, I think it's not an easy shot, but a makeable shot for two here for Kate Cameron, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think you have two shots. You can play. I think there's, depending on the weight, I think you could probably go red onto yellow there. You also got the double, the wide yellow one into the middle.
Yeah, you can go through that hole.
Well, that's what the red one onto the yellow. That's what that's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Going through the hole. Yeah. Sorry.
No, my fault. We were thinking the same two shots. We just said it the other way around. It take much to confuse me sometimes. I don't know. I feel like the double might be the easier shot of the hole. Maybe somewhere part of me says it's a little bit safer and that you should be able to get one out of it. Try to go through the hole. If you ever rub either guard, you're not getting one.
Well, I guess it ends up being like, what turn would you throw if you were playing through that hole?
Well, I think you got to throw in turn, and you gotta assume you can make that hold on. I think you can hold the shooter if you're not throwing it, and you wouldn't throw it that hard. But I think you can hold the shooter. Doesn't matter for now, I don't think, because I think she's playing the yellow, red, yellow, which probably is the easier one of the two anyway, I think.
But you know what? It may only be for one, because I don't know that you can hold your shooter.
Yeah, it depends on how much of the yellow you have to hit, right? Like
I think
half a rock probably doesn't hold the shooter. So let's see what we get. She's not throwing it real hard. Kate Cameron delivering her last stone of the seventh end here. Sweeper's going on it. Trying to make sure she throws a weight that can control everything. This is going to be really close. Well, just not quite enough. Great effort by Kate Cameron.
She might have got one, bud.
Well, yeah, I think she don't know. I better not say.
I thought they even I don't know for sure either.
Maybe they'll give us an indication before we break. So looks like one red.
Yeah.
So pretty good shot by Kate Cameron there. It was a possible two, but a really difficult two. And she does manage to get one, give herself a chance coming home in the eighth end as she trails 6-5 to Kerri Einarson here at the Saville Grand Prix.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
So we're back for the 8th and possibly final end of our second round match here at the Saville Grand Prix, with Kerri Einarson leading Kate Cameron by a score of 6-5, and also retaining hammer, which should be pivotal in this end. Terry?
Yes. I think
always nice to be up one with hammer.
Yep, for sure.
So that's a perfect spot for Krista Karwacki. Puts it in the 4-foot top button. Ideal spot for the team with hammer.
Yeah, I mean, Kate getting one there, she gets to play the last or the 8th end and try and get it to potentially an extra end. I mean, yeah. I've seen scores of 2 before in the 8th end on a steal, so away we go.
Yeah, unfortunately, we missed the first shot, which is back in by where the rock storage is, and obviously it had to be a hog rock, or I assume a hog rock versus one that went all the way through, because I can't imagine. But that would be a big miss for the Cameron team, not getting that first rock out there. They'd be in a much better position with 2 out front right now.
Yeah.
So Einarson coming in again. Can be sure that Kerri's looking to have nothing out front when she gets to the point that she can do something about it, which will be on the very next shot.
Sometimes I wonder how close we are to the 6 rock rule.
Oh, don't even say it. Our club, they're still trying to figure out what rocks, how many rocks are allowed to play, and if they're supposed to be on the center, off the center, or what. They're just very confused. Not a competitive bunch we have at our club. So
yeah,
competitive, but not rules oriented. So
right. No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So Cameron will now try to throw another rock out here to create as much havoc as she can. A little too early for her to go in, but they got to get it over. Going hard to get it over. And they will get it over, actually, just perfectly. That's the best she could do, and a really good shot. For Brianna Cullen. Kerri Einarson looking to peel at least one. Probably be
I think she'd be happy with one, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Joanne Courtney peeling that one off. Another guard will go up for Cameron. Probably you'll see that 2 or 3 more times. It might come down right to Kate's shots before she does anything other than throw rocks out front, unless she gets a miss somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I mean, that if you're Team Cameron, I think you have to go with the assumption that I'm going to have to wait right until, my shots and even potentially Kate's last one in order to try and sit one.
Yeah, I think so too. Working hard again. These shots are hard to throw.
Oh, are they
she's
ever?
Not going to get there on this one.
Oh, my Lord.
So unfortunately, a chance for Kerri Einarson. Unfortunately for Kate Cameron team, Einarson now has a chance to remove the only guard in play and make this end look a whole lot easier for her.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a no sit here, though. And got rid of everything. I don't think Joanne will be ecstatic with that one. It's not the end of the world, but certainly not the preferred outcome. Down to third stones, I believe now. So I think you're still going out in front of that, aren't you, Terry? Maybe, maybe not. Two options are obviously the guard, which always gives a possibility she makes a double peel and everything is gone, or she can opt to come around it and then hope to get some kind of a opportunity to guard it up. I don't mind this call at all. I just see you just got to make this one really good because they're not going to get another chance to do it. It's probably going to be throwing this in and guarding it up after that. Enter and draw. Taylor McDonald. Colin and Elias. I'm not sure if it's Elias or Elias. I apologize. I'm getting it wrong. Going hard. They got to go harder. This one's going to be in the rings, but they'd like to be top 4 foot, top button if they could.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good effort.
Good sweeping, yeah. I think it is Mackenzie Elias, but I'm not.
Elias?
Again,
Yeah.
like you. I mean, I have trouble with the European names and many of the teams that come over from Japan and Korea and whatnot. They're literally guesses in the
Elias can work
pronunciation.
fine. So the peel attempt for Val Sweeting.
Oh, she's got it.
Make the run back. That's good, but certainly still leaves the opportunity for Cameron to get one into as good or better position. The good thing for Kerri Einarson there is that, the guard is slightly off center now. So for Cameron to bury, she has to go a little bit past the center and leave that side of the button open if it ever came to that on the last shot for
That's right. Yeah.
Einarson. This one's got to curl a lot. Starting to move now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to taking this behind the tee line a bit either.
I agree 100%. I think you just ignore the tee line. You got to get it buried.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good.
Yep. No, a really good shot. I mean, like you say, it's buried. I mean, certainly if you had to, I mean, you could come down to it and tap it. But I mean, that's not in the playbook right now for Kerri's team.
No. If they ever make contact with this red one in the house at this point, it's probably a mistake or an accident or whatever, because you really don't want to leave. You don't want to just miss the one in the house and then leave a guard that guards maybe a half of the rock or a third of the rock, so that the opportunity for Cameron to guard is that much better.
This is what you were talking about.
Yeah, almost exactly.
Almost, yeah.
If that curls another little bit, then all of a sudden that guard is almost guarding the rock, and you're going in. You might be going right around to sit too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was really not what they were trying to do. I think the straight guard there is a much better shot. So Kate Cameron's going to be throwing that straight guard now, and all of a sudden there's a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel for her, because that's a darn good rock that's in the house. It's not like one that's out in the 8 foot somewhere. It's covering the hole. I think you want to be probably a little bit closer than that Yellowstone, or maybe just even with that Yellowstone would do the trick. I don't know that you want to be too much longer than that. It's always a decision, because you don't want Einarson to have a good run at a double, because that's right in her wheelhouse, those types of shots. So you'd rather not give her too easy of an attempt at the double. But if you're too long, then she can throw like a hack weight, board weight shot and really come right around and remove it. So Kate Cameron, her second last shot of the 8th end, second last red shot of the 8th end, her first. Looking for an in-turn guard. Line is probably a little more important than weight here, but both are very important on this shot. This looks like it's going to be just about perfect.
Yeah, I think she's okay with that. I mean, I think the depth is good. Um, if probably any higher, and who knows? I mean, it may entice Kerri to think about it, but I mean, I think the depth here it's really good, um, and there's like no option here to do anything but remove the guard. I guess, and for me again, it would be, I'm pretty sure, being up one, you want to just hit and go and force Cameron's team to, make the same guard again and give yourself the opportunity to win it on your last one.
Yeah. So Einarson delivering the peel, and she will make
Yeah,
it fine.
yeah.
It will be interesting here if Kate Cameron goes short again, or if she decides to come in right into maybe even bite the top of the 8 foot.
I think she has to go short. I mean, because if she doesn't, if she comes in and gets second shot, exactly uh, what um, what Kerri Anderson is playing, which would be the double. Um, I think if well, unless of course you want to let her throw the double, but I would be trying to throw it in the exact same spot, and then Kerri can decide if she wants to take it on, or she's just gonna
Yeah.
try then to make the double, and if she doesn't make it, she's got an extra end.
Yeah. She made it so good the first time. So let's see if
Yeah,
she can repeat that. If she
yeah,
can put this back in the exact same spot, it will be interesting again on the other side to see what shot Kerri Einarson does play.
yeah. You
And
just
this is
don't
going to
want
be,
this to over curl.
yeah, this is going to be close to over curling, but it's okay. But I think it's enough for Kerri to go after it. It's a little bit longer, quite a bit longer, I guess. And
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, it's not super easy to go around and move it either. But I think it's definitely there with back 8 kind of weight. So
Yeah, I think she plays it. You know,
oh, shit.
She's playing that shot that Kate Cameron played early when she got her 1 in 4.
Yeah.
I'm just a tad bit surprised, but I mean that must feel like a extremely long guard to her. Um, I think I'd be inclined to. Uh,
So she's looking at now. I think she's actually looking to go rather to run the
Running
yellow
that
one.
yellow one in, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that shot. I think this ice again, as I mentioned earlier, it has enough curl, but it doesn't have a radical curl or a massive finish like we've seen in some of the weeks previous to this, and so that just makes that intern tap kind of shot just that little bit tougher. And if you're going to run one, you might as well run yours rather than running hers, so that if it stays, you win.
Hmm. Well, and I mean, on a personal level, I didn't like her original call with that kind of weight.
Yeah,
I would have been playing, I would have been much better with her playing kind of just a heavy draw.
yeah, I
Um,
would too.
I
Yeah,
I like this as well. Like, I mean, I just think
yeah.
it's a better shot selection.
So Kerri Anderson's last rock in the 8th end's on its
Got a
way.
curl.
Needs to curl, and it's not going to
Not
curl
going to.
enough. And Kate Cameron will steal one and force an extra end here in this game, second round game at the Saville Grand Prix. And we will take a brief break and be back for the extra end. Brief something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
shot in between.
Yeah. We're back. Really glad you guys should join us for this one. You get extra bonus action in this game. We are going to an extra end. Certainly the Cameron team, after kind of faltering for a couple ends, did a great job in that last end, Terry.
Yeah, I mean, again, it started off. I mean, I guess after 4 rocks didn't look great. I mean, we believe the first one was hogged. We saw another one hogged. You hog 2 rocks in an end. I don't like your chances of stealing, but I mean, somehow Kate found a way to do that, and yeah, we are in an extra end.
Yeah, with Einarson retaining hammer, obviously, after the steal won by Cameron. First rock for Cameron here by Mackenzie Elias did curl off the center line, so it is splittable, or tickable, I guess should say, not splittable.
Yeah.
This one's going to have to curl a bit to do that. That's the importance of that rock biting the center line, but she's not going to. She did get a little bit. She did at least 75% of the job, I guess, moving it over. But you can see the importance of that rock staying in contact with the center line. That shot would not have been an option otherwise. And
that's right.
Yeah. Certainly, Kerri would have went around it, but that's okay as long as you have guards out there. You can don't worry about what the other team does. You need a couple of rocks out front. So second chance here for Elias to get one on the center line. She wasn't far off last time. It was just, I think she was just heavy enough that they couldn't really go hard at the end with the fear of taking it into the house. So as a result, she never quite got to the center line. Might have the same problem in this one once it starts back up.
This one looks a little better.
Yeah, they needed to get it to the center line. Will they do that? They will be really close. Yeah, I think so. Well, no, not quite.
Oh, no, I don't think she got there, Jim.
Well, I don't know why they weren't going a little harder, Terry.
Yeah.
You don't want to be critical, but I just, you got to go a little harder on that. You got to get that to the line, I think. But anyway, regardless, it's a great spot now. Kerri's not going to do anything with it anyway, so it's offers some cover that I'm sure Kate Cameron will be looking forward to using here just in a few minutes.
That's right, and I mean, at first, when I started, when we started this game, I actually wondered if the tick rule off the center line was not in play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm with you. I mean, I think, a couple more strokes of the brush and we could have got that one to the center line.
Wouldn't taken a whole lot. So Kerri Einarson asking Krista Karwacki to draw one in, looking for the top of the 4-foot. Didn't quite get there, but not a terrible spot.
Yeah. I mean, there were 9 other games on the draw today, and we got Caitlin Laws up on Team McMillan 5-3 playing 8. We have 2 Japan teams, I believe, playing against each other. Team Ha is up 4-2 on Team Kim. We have a final. Tabata from Japan. No, sorry. Yes, I think she's from Japan. The game that I mentioned before, I think the teams are from Korea. She won 8-0 over Team Brown. Kitazawa beat Fujisawa 7-2. My eyes are getting bad here. Yoshimura won 6-1 over Gray Withers. We have a tie game here. Constantini and Sturmey are tied 7-7. Team Rana from Sweden beat Team Strauss from the US. We have Team Plett 8-1 over Team Gale. And Kaufman and Hartwell are tied 5-5. That gets you up to date.
Thanks, Terry. In the meantime, we had a guard go up and a peel go out. Peel happen, and looking for another guard for Team Cameron. For a high guard here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, got to get it over. And they will. I think. They do. They're hard on the heart, those shots, I think.
Yeah, I know.
If you're a big fan of the Cameron team, the last couple ends have been like
That's right.
really tough on those guards. Those are, as we said the last end, though, it's hard to throw a guard that's only just a few feet over the hog line. So,
yeah, to me, that's like the tick thing. It's an art.
Yeah. So good peel by Joanne Courtney there. We're halfway through the end here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Joanne's lost anything or
No.
left anything in the locker room.
No.
For our North American viewers, just a quick update at the Pan Continental Championships, and I say North American fans because Brad Gushu from Canada leads Mr. Schuster from the USA 4-0 after or playing the third end.
Oh, good lead for Brad. Schuster's a long time ago now, but did knock Gushu off at the Olympics way back when. So good guard here for camera team. It's quite guarding that rock, but it's still a good place. Einarson will remove it. And we're probably not too far away from Kate Cameron having to make a little bit more of a move, but certainly not for this shot. Val Sweeting throwing her out turn. Karwacki going hard.
Yep, well done.
I'm pretty sure you'll see Kerri and the girls try to make sure that they don't leave anything around up front this time. Not that necessarily burn them in the last end, but there were a couple of times when you kind of wondered if they maybe would have been better off hitting a little less of that rock out front. Another guard going up. This one's got to curl quite a bit. And coming in, settling pretty good.
Yep.
Looks pretty nice. There's a yellow one behind the red, if anybody hasn't noticed that. It's just red's pretty much frozen to the yellow. Val Sweeting will throw another peel, which will relieve just Skip's rocks after that. Just nice controlled wait for Val. Good shot.
Yeah.
I think some teams have fallen in love with the 4.5 second takeout sometimes, and it doesn't always do well to throw it. If you're not somebody that can throw it and throw it accurately, then
That's right. Yeah. Team
know,
Cameron's kind of got a little bit of a dilemma here because to go behind that, I mean, those two rocks, I mean, it looks like I don't know if they're frozen, but I mean, certainly they could use that to run the yellow one back into anything that she probably throws. So that's not ideal, and I don't think if you're Kate, you're ever playing, the red onto the yellow unless it's to bump it back to the back of the 4 foot, back 8. I think they'll elect to play the straight draw, but
I think they are. And like you say, Terry, and normally you'd say, well, draw around there and you'll be fine, but she's got to draw probably to the back of the 4 to avoid the run back, and Kerri ends up peeling all of that out, and then you really can't guard the one at the back of the 4. It's not good enough. So where do you go? You have to go top 8 or top 4.
Yeah.
And might set up an easy double. But I think first step here for me, I think you have to go around on this one, and I think you do have to go fairly deep to keep it. And even then, you still might not.
Yeah, you might not avoid that.
Yeah.
because you'll be able to hit the red one on either side. I mean, like I say, there'll be a drag in
A
all
little bit of a
likelihood.
drag, yeah. So Kate Cameron, her first stone here in the extra end, and number 9. Sweepers look pretty confident with the weight. There's nobody in a big hurry. Starting to get some curl now.
Yeah, it's really got a curl.
Be back, but got to be back.
So she'll
might
sit
be the
shot.
best she could have done, yeah. I think a real good shot. It's going to be an interesting decision, too, for Kerri Einarson. She can certainly make contact with the one in the house. I'm sure she can see at least half of it from the other end. You could run the front. You could basically run it a little bit on, as we look at it on the overhead, if you ran it, hit a little bit on the left-hand side, you'll probably drag it into the red. And you might be able to get rid of everything.
So you'd have to hit the red one on the center line side, high.
You'd have to hit it on coming this way. If you're coming on the out turn, I think. Well, I don't know. I guess whatever. I'm looking at the. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah.
She hasn't. I mean, I would be so tempted to play that because I think you could improve your situation, but at the same time, I mean, she's elected to play this shot, and I mean, I would. These are the shots that I'd really like to know the weight selection that they've chosen.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she's looking to stick around.
I don't think she is either. So I think you're looking at certainly a controllable takeout weight here. I don't know what that weight would be for them, but
yeah, neither do I.
It's certainly not big weight.
Yeah.
So and Courtney trying to hold it.
Yeah.
I like my chances when she's the one trying to hold it for sure.
She
did
just
not
tipped
get
it.
by.
Oh my no!
And worse yet, it actually disturbed those two rocks.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that helps Cameron. What? I mean, this game has kind of had some really interesting twists to it.
There has. There's been some barely missed shots, but they've turned into a definite advantage for the opposition.
Yeah.
That might have just played that. I don't know, just maybe a little too fine.
Because they didn't jump on it out of her hand for sure.
No.
Again, that's why you like to know the weights when you're watching shots. But if they like the weight out of her hand, I mean, that's kind of a poor judgment error. Or an error on their judgment, I guess I should say. So here we go. We've got Kate Cameron trying to go top of the 4-foot and really put the pressure on Kerri Einarson.
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I wonder whether she might have been better off just blasting the front and seeing if she could get rid of everything.
I mean, and again, you do whatever you feels you're going to make, but I would have been running up to that thing.
Yeah. So screen finally unlocked a little bit for us, and we see this Kate Cameron's rock coming into the 4-foot, going a little too deep, and really allowing Einarson to come down to that. Just with it has to be a draw weight shot now, and shouldn't be a lot of discussion on it because there's really no other options. You're not going to hit anything.
Yeah,
it's really just a draw to the tee line.
Yeah, and again, had a real good chance, Kate. Like if that stops a foot shorter, it's a world of trouble for Kerri. But where it is now, and once again, I'm just a little bit surprised that this isn't just a heavy draw.
Yeah, I'm totally shocked on this one, Terry. I feel like, but again, maybe because of our angle and everything that we look like we're right behind the sheep, but it might be that there's a little more room to work with than not. But right now, to me, it looks like you've got to come by that guard by virtually nothing to be able to stay if you're going to throw anything other than draw weight. So Yeah, we'll see. She'll probably make it and prove us
Right, of
wrong.
course.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what we're here for. We're
That's
good.
right.
We can take it.
But
So
I just like, having the sweepers more involved. I mean, you got a chance to carve it.
yeah,
She in outs her shot,
yeah.
and so she's
So she's
probably
definitely
gonna be
not overthrown.
she's got
Actually, I think
this.
she's going to be good.
Yeah. And
Gonna
like
get
you
it
say,
by.
she just gonna get
Well
by, but
done.
that's all you needed to do, and she scores her one.
Tremendous shot by Kerri Einarson, despite our quanderings about whether or not she should play that shot or not. Obviously, she knew it better than we knew it. We'll give her credit. She will pull off a 1-point victory, 7-6 over Kate Cameron in an extra end game here at the Saville Center in the Saville Grand Prix. My name's Jim Nix. I'm with Terry Corbin, and we'll be back to see you again later on for the next game. Lots of games going on from here on in. Join it. Sign up to watch them all at Curling Stadium, Edmonton, or Saville. So,
And
good night
don't
now.
forget to give us a like
Yes.
on the YouTube channel.
Yes, that's right. Likes and follows are all good.
That's right.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.